In this video, I'm going to share 3 simple ways you can optimize your search and navigation for a higher converting experience on your e-commerce site. So let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, so I have a site here pulled up called Beyond Retro Vintage Clothing. They're one of the Shopify clients that we work with, and I'll just kind of go ahead and walk you through those 3 things right now. So the very first thing is making search very prominent. So for example, on this site, you can see up in the top left-hand corner, there's a magnifying glass for search, and there's also the search bar. So no matter where I scroll on the page or where I navigate to, there's always going to be a search in that floating or sticky menu, which makes it really easy to get to, and that's great. But additionally, having this full-size search bar makes it really prevalent, and it also makes it easy to navigate to no matter what page I'm on. So for example, let's say I go to Christmas, there's a full search bar up at the top. So no matter what collection page I'm on, let's say I go to the new in men's as well, and I go up here, boom, search is up at the top. So it's very prominent no matter where I'm at on the site. So that's tip number 1, is just making your search readily available for the user. You'll be surprised how many sites that we come across where the search is hidden or very hard to identify. So just making it very easy is going to make it more likely that your customer is going to stick around and keep searching for items they might be interested in. So the second thing that you want is autocomplete. So let's say, for example, I've wound up here and now I'm going to start searching for something. Let's go ahead and type in shirt. So if I type in shirt, you'll see not only does it autocomplete, but it's giving me different product options as well and kind of displaying them in full. And if I backspace it and let's say I type pants, shows up, or if I type jacket, shows up. So I get lots of options when I'm filling out the search bar. So that's really critical as well, because if you just type it in and they're not seeing anything appear, then they might not know if your store actually has that item and they might just leave. So by showing items as they're typing in something into the search bar, it gives them a sense that you've got the items in stock that they might be looking for. But let's say none of these autofill or autocomplete items really stood out to me and I just want to do it a bit manually on my own. So now I'm going to go over here to the menu and let's say I go to men's, and we'll go to men's vintage, and how about jackets? So let's take a look at that. So the third tip is having the faceted search. And what that means is making filters readily available for people to search through. So for example, there's 2,123 possible jackets on here that I could purchase. There's no way I'm going to click through all of them. And so I'm just going to go ahead and open up the filters and see how I can sort this down a bit. So for example, let's say I want to go by brand. And let's say I'm really interested in Eddie Bauer, so we'll click on that one, and let's go to color, and I'm really interested in purple. And so now I'm going to go ahead and apply, and boom. So now I filtered it down to one item out of the previous 2,000, and heck, maybe I click on this and I'm like, yep, this is the one for me. I'm going to purchase this one. So you can see how through these 3 simple steps, it made it a lot easier for me to narrow down a site that's got tens of thousands of product offerings into something specific that I might be looking for very quickly, to make it more likely that I would actually go through and make a purchase. So to recap, let's talk about those 3 things one more time. The very first thing is making search readily available on the site. You want to make it very easy to get to no matter what page they're on or no matter where in the page they've scrolled to. Second, adding autocomplete to the search. That way, as they're typing something in, they start seeing results immediately. That way, it makes it apparent that your site has what they're looking for in stock. If it's just blank and there's no autocomplete, they might feel like your site doesn't have that, and they'll just leave. And lastly, if you've got a lot of items on your site, you want to add in the faceted search. That way they can start breaking it down and start drilling down into exactly what it is they're looking for. If you apply these 3 search tips to your mobile e-commerce site, there's a really good chance you're going to get a lot more conversions. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more ways to optimize your site for better conversions, then head over to renderbetter.com or feel free to connect with me. My name's Alex Kazai, and I'll see you in the next video.